Hello, everyone. Mr. Z here, talking to you about one of my favorite topics, time management and setting your goals. I guarantee if you go through and use some of the little tips that we're going to be giving to you, and you set up your own process for managing your time and setting your goals, it can revolutionize your life. It has mine. A lot of people keep the time management and goal setting separate. You manage your time by the checklist and the schedules, and the goals are totally separate. What you're going to learn here is they're all related. They are both related together. And what we're going to cover here is a little bit of perspective on the importance of setting up a program or a schedule for yourself that you can use and you are comfortable with to manage your time and to set the goals that you want to move forward in your life. We're going to talk about the bigger picture, the purpose of everything. We're going to be focusing on the why as opposed to just the activities. That's why goals and time management are so related together. We're going to give you some tips on how to set SMART goals. We'll go through that. And we'll give you some tips again to put it all together for yourself so that it works for you. There are a ton of time management and organizational materials out there. The tip I would give to you, develop one that works for you, that accomplishes what you want to accomplish. And after you watch this video, there will be a little quiz just to make sure you've understood the basic concepts that we're talking about. Then we've got some materials and worksheets that you can use to set some goals for yourself. I want you to think about this. Over the next 90 days, what are 3 goals that you want to achieve in your life? And what are the steps you need to take to accomplish them? We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to start first with a little story. There was a teacher, an 8th grade teacher, standing in front of his class, and he had this jar. And in front of the jar, he had 3 piles, one pile of sand, one pile of smaller rocks, and then several big rocks. And he asked the students, he asked his class, do you think we'll be able to fit all of these materials into this jar? And this class looked at it, they said, yeah, we should be able to. Let's start with the sand, put the sand in first, then we'll put in the smaller rocks, and then the bigger rocks, and it should all fit. Well, the teacher followed their instructions and found that of all of those materials, it was too much for the jar. In the class said, we need a bigger jar for all of this. Well, there was one student in the back who looked at it and said, maybe we just need to think about this a little bit different. Why don't we start by putting the big rocks in first? And then let's put the smaller rocks in and then cover it up with the sand and see if that will all fit. And lo and behold, they found that with the same material, thinking about it a little bit different, it all fit in the jar. The moral of this is you need to think about things a little bit different with time. Look at the jar as the capacity in your life. Start first with the big rocks. The big rocks are your dreams, your goals, your vision of where you want to go and what you want to accomplish. The smaller rocks are those daily activities that come into play that you have to deal with, but they don't take precedent over your big rocks. And the sand is all the clutter that we deal with most every day. The focus here to make sure you have goals and that you adjust what you do every day to your big rocks, so that you don't, by taking care of all of the sand first, you don't run out of room for the major goals that you have and you have set for your life. And the numbers all support this. Those who have written goals tend to be more successful in achieving them than those who don't. Interestingly, 97% of the people out there do not have written goals. And it does not take a lot of time. Spending a little bit of time every day in your planning with your big rocks, planning your day to achieve the goals that you have set, help you to move forward, and you don't end up with a checklist and getting everything off the checklist and you're going, but how did that move me forward anywhere? Because we do spend a lot of our time in the sand. And what we're saying, focus on those big rocks of your life. A gentleman by the name of Simon Sinek came up with an idea he called the Golden Circle, focusing first on the why you do what you do, as opposed to just focusing on the what we do every day. It's talking about the fact that those organizations and individuals who know their purpose, they know their why, tend to be more productive, tend to be more successful than those who just run from one thing to the other, focusing on what they're doing every day as opposed to why they are doing it. So what we're saying is that managing your time with the time you've been blessed with every day should be part of your overall direction in life, your personal direction, your family direction, your direction with your community, your professional direction, and your spiritual or faith direction. That why that is out there for you sets that light of the direction that you want to go. Which gets into the whole idea of purpose. As opposed to just running from one thing to the other, knowing your big rocks, and then beyond that, knowing your purpose. What is your mission? What is your overall goal with all the roles that you play? What is the mission and purpose and direction of it all? And setting up a personal mission statement does not take a lot of time. But I guarantee you, if you spend a little time with it and come back to it regularly, it will help you to answer the questions that you need to have answered when you're dealing with the small rocks in the sand. This is my personal mission statement that I have developed for myself. I come back to it very regularly. I simply want to use my talents and gifts to follow the path that I've been given. I want to remain confident and optimistic no matter the challenge, and do my best to use whatever resources I have, the talents I've been blessed with, to be an example for my family and be of service to others. I cannot tell you the number of times I have come back to that mission as I have been forced to make decisions. Do I do this with my family? Do I do this for my career? Do I do this for my community? What fits in with my personal mission? This is my why. And this is the why everybody should have, to help them as they're setting up their big rocks and then the daily activities that you need to create to reach those goals that you have set. And as you're establishing your mission and your big rocks and your goals, understand as well, you may have big rocks for every role that you play in your life. Where do those priorities fit? My family, my friends, my career, my financial goals, my spiritual or my faith goals. All of these may have big rocks that you have tied with them. And it's important to understand the role you play and the priority of that role to help you determine what you need to be doing every day. And as you're establishing these goals, it's important, and you will be hearing this a lot from your resource support team, your advisors, your coaches, of the whole idea of making sure that your goals are SMART goals. Make sure that they're specific. Here is what I specifically want to achieve. That they're measurable. Instead of saying I want to read some books next month, I'm going to read 2 books next month. That they're attainable and realistic. Don't think that you need to do it all at once. Break it down. Make sure that it's attainable. Make sure that they're also realistic, and that you have an end time on when you're going to achieve those. And we're going to ask you in the worksheet at the end to develop 3 main goals that you want to achieve in the next 90 days and how you're going to achieve those, making sure that they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're realistic, and they have a time-based function to them, that you know when you're going to be doing them. And there are a ton of resources out there. And again, I want to just stress the importance is find the system that works best for you. This is a Franklin Covey planner that lists out your time schedule, time for notes, what are your objectives, what are your priorities for the day, and what have you accomplished. But there are a lot of them out there. I highly suggest, and they're both online as well as in paper. But find something you are comfortable with and that you can work with every day to document. This is kind of the checklist stuff, but it is linked to your big rocks, which is linked to your mission and your purpose. All of these should be aligned together. And just some tips that you can use to help you manage your time every day. Make sure that, first of all, that you know what your purpose and your big rocks are. And then use a planner or a tool to help you guide your process. Personally, I spend 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening to evaluate what happened during the day and what I need to do tomorrow. But I also plan monthly or weekly, what are the goals that what are the big rocks that I want to achieve this month? And then using that planning tool to help me schedule my day. And there are going to be meetings and family and whatever that are going to be scheduled for you. Those again are probably your little rocks. And then you have all the sand that you need to fill in between, but looking always at how do these lead me forward to the big rocks that I want to achieve. Schedule a time for each task. One thing I would also suggest is, again, just like you schedule time for meetings or family commitments, schedule time for your planning. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon. A little bit more time on the weekend as you're planning your week out towards the end of the month, taking a look back. What did I achieve? What didn't I achieve? What do I need to move forward? but always be prepared to adjust. We all have the days that we have a whole day scheduled and it's blown apart in the first half hour. That happens. That's John Lennon. Life is what happens when you're making other plans. But again, be prepared to adjust. And one of the biggest things, make planning your day a habit. Linking again, purpose, big rocks, and then planning your day from there. And always moving forward as best you can to achieving those big rocks. So the best advice that I could give to you, take a little time each day. Make this a habit, and it will make a difference. George Patton said, a good plan, violently executed very well, is better than a perfect plan next week. Don't be a perfectionist. Adjust to this as best you can. Plan your daily activities. Have your goals in front of you. Have your mission and purpose out there, and always move forward. Because, as Stephen Covey says, if we just keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. Nothing will change. So I'm back again. Hope you enjoyed that. I guarantee you, I'm repeating this, I guarantee you, you spend a little bit of time every day, it'll change your life. And also, it adds a lot of confidence. Even when you have those disrupting times, you're going to know you've got your big rocks out there, and that you will keep adjusting to keep moving forward. That's what is important. So the next steps for this lesson, I want you to take the quiz that is following this. We've got another video out there that we would like you to watch. It's only about 9 minutes that puts all of this stuff together for you. Then we've got one other quiz for you after that video. And then we'd like for you again to complete the worksheet that again asks you to identify what are the 3 main goals you want to have over the next 90 days, and share those with the support team here at Twin Cities Rise, so that we're making sure you're moving forward and we're aligned to help you achieve and be the success we know you will be. Have a great one. Have fun with the follow-up exercises, and we'll see you on another lesson. Take care.